All right. Thanks everyone for joining me again. Um, Today we have a different type of interview. I have two guests. I have Bianca Giordano, guard for Jackson Memorial, and her sister, assistant coach, former Jackson Memorial, Sarah Dessner. Thanks for joining me, girl. You two there?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. How are you two doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Okay. First, getting started, both of you. How are you guys dealing with the virus?
The quarantine has been a little bit rough with waking up at a decent hour, sorry. And having some long spurts of boredom. However, it has been much easier eating better and planning longer workouts. I've been using various workout programs to stay in shape, so I also give them to Sarah, so I'm basically her personal trainer. School has been going pretty smooth. The assignments are self-explanatory and easy for the most part, which is good.
Yeah, she's been my trainer, making me shakes and stuff. So a lot of family time, a lot of Uno, other games we tried to play, The Office, things like that. So that's pretty much how we're dealing with it. Our mom's pretty fit, so she goes down there and works out with us. We have a full gym, thank God. So we just keep adding things to, and that's pretty much what we've been doing this whole time.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I see the videos you guys post. They look definitely looks like you guys are working hard, both of you. Bianca, I got a quick question. Does Jackson have anything planned for the seniors for graduation?
Well, we had our banquet, and that was nice. We had a Zoom banquet, and for graduation, no, not really. Like some schools are having like a little graduation where two people graduate at a time, and they only have like 10 minutes to get their high school diploma, and get pictures with their family. So no word for us yet.
I mean, Jackson's probably a little more difficult with. I'm assuming it's a very large class size.
Yeah, it's about 430 students.
Yeah, so it's probably a little tougher to plan something around that. We'll talk a little bit of background. When did you both start playing basketball?
So I started playing a little bit earlier than Bianca, probably around 6-ish, because I played recreation. I wasn't as good as Bianca was at a young age. So I went through like rec and then travel. So probably around 6 or so.
Yeah, and I started playing around 3rd grade. So I was about 8, 9 years old. Went straight to a travel team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You guys play any other sports? Girls, sorry. Girls playing.
Nah, it's fine. I played softball up until 8th grade, but basketball was really something I loved, and I played AAU and stuff. It wasn't as intense as AAU is now, but it still took up a lot of my time.
Yeah. So I started soccer in kindergarten, and I eventually quit about junior year, and then I've been playing lacrosse from freshman to junior year, being that my senior year got canceled.
Okay. Did you play for Jackson Memorial?
Yeah,
soccer?
I did. Yeah, I played like a little bit of travel soccer in middle school and elementary school, but not in high school.
Okay. Do you girls have any siblings? And if so, do they play any sports?
Yeah, so Bianca and I have different dads, so she has extra siblings, but there's 4 of us mainly. I have 2 other brothers, Alex and Josh. Alex was a really good wrestler at Freehold Township. He actually wrestled Douglas Stanley, who's a coach at Memorial now. And our brother Josh, he ran track. And then Bianca has 2 siblings as well, extra siblings on her dad's side.
Yeah, Sal Jr., he's just more into like martial arts, I guess you could say. And my sister Nicole, she didn't do any sports. She was just a student.
Okay. I want to talk about your parents a little bit. How have they supported you, through the years, because I know AAU costs a lot of money, traveling soccer costs a lot of money. How have they impacted you and supported both of you?
Yeah, I mean, my mom and Sal, my stepdad, they were there at everything for the most part. They made it to everything, especially when I started playing at Memorial. They really got into it, just like they are to this day. And I think they always will be. They'll always go to games, but they were really into it. AAU they came to, and then my dad lived in New York at the time, and he would drive 2 hours to my AAU tournaments and see every high school game I played my senior year. So they were very supportive in my basketball career.
Yeah, my mom and dad, they would leave work super early just to either pick me up for practice or pick me up from school to get to practice. And it was a little harder in middle school because my games were much earlier, so they had to sometimes take days off or take a super early day and then have to work late the next day. But they didn't complain about it one bit, and they did whatever they could to get me to the right camps, the right college camps, all that good stuff, just so I can have like an opportunity to shine.
Yeah, I mean, that's great, especially when parents, go the extra mile. I've heard stories, kids want to quit sports because of their parents, but, it's good that they're support, whatever you two wanted to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Growing up, which trainers, there's a lot of trainers in this area. Which trainers did you two use?
Honestly, the only trainer we have in common would be Tiny, because he was around when I was there, but I always went to hoop group. That was when it was called Rebounds. I was there every day. I was there every camp. J.R. Smith camp I always went to. I'm actually really good friends with his brother, so I made a lot of connections there. But that's pretty much the big one that was around when I was in high school and things like that.
Yeah, I just like Sarah said, I've trained with Tiny as well. And then I have Coach Dee Darnell Williams. He's the OCC women's basketball head coach now, and he's a very good trainer. Yeah, he used to train me at a military base. Then I had Joe Ross. He's out of Monroe Sports Center. He's my shooting coach. He's awesome. Like, he'll fix every little tiny thing. Then we got Basketball Warehouse. Bobby and Mark, one of the nicest men you'll ever meet, and they know how to train. And then we got my coaches, Coach Stone, and Goody, but she trained me when I was like in elementary school. And then of course Gary Lynn, he's a good one. I'm pretty sure I'll be with him throughout my college career, and then even after basketball's over, I'll still be with him.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Gary. I got to know him pretty well this season. Very supportive.
Yeah,
shows up. He showed up to Jackson a few games. He's always supporting the kids that he trains. And even when you were playing against his daughter, he was still, showing support to you, Christina, Rachel.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about your relationship with Gary and, his training style, because I see a lot of similarities in the way all of you that train with him play on the court.
Yeah, I actually just got done shooting workout with him over Zoom. So he's very committed to each and every one of the girls that he trains. Like, he treats us as one of his own. His coaching style is pretty unique in the way that he trains. Like, he's an I'm possible trainer, but he's more of like doing it his own way, but teaching the same things that we're supposed to be taught. So he'll like teach whatever the move is, but he'll tell you how to use it in a game. He'll give us examples from like NBA games, WNBA, college. So whatever we do, we know that there's a purpose, and we're just not doing it just to do it.
Yeah, something that I see, on the court, whether I'm watching you and Christina or Maura or Jordan, the aggressiveness you guys have taking the ball to the rim.
Yeah.
And a parent was looking for a trainer for the daughter, and that was something I thought was missing. So I recommended Gary, because I think Gary would bring that out in her, because she has a complete game. She just, needs to get that, fierceness that you girls all play with.
Yeah.
So entering high school, freshman year, some goals you both had, whether for the 4 years or, just for your freshman year?
Honestly, freshman year for Bianca specifically, I had been on staff already on contract for about a year. And then I've been coaching with Goody right out of college, and even when I came home from college. So freshman year, I knew it was going to be a struggle a little bit. There's definitely a learning curve, especially the way Goody coaches. You're walking into a college practice. She doesn't care that the kids are in high school. It's very structured and things like that. So I knew it'd be a learning curve for her. So honestly, all I wanted her to do was get better. So I wanted to see some sort of improvement throughout the season. I didn't really worry about wins or losses, things like that. I know Goody and I and the rest of the coaching staff will get us where we need to be in that sense. But in terms of Bianca specifically, I wanted her to just make sure she got better every day and worked hard in practice.
Yeah, as a freshman, my goal was to adjust like the different style of the play very quickly and see what I can achieve within the first year. So I can set goals for the next year to surpass whatever I did freshman year, and train in the spring and summer to bring more to the table and provide more for my team. Yeah, and also like an upperclassman, Bridget Sheeran, she was probably the number one motivator on the whole team that year. She would make you work hard even if you didn't want to. She would just keep motivating you just to work hard, don't quit, and give 110% all the time.
Yeah, and then, I mean, sophomore year, Bianca had a pretty good freshman year, scoring-wise, but sophomore year, I was really looking for improvement once again. I mean, still sophomore. Chris came, Rachel was a freshman. We had Danny on the team. And then we had some soccer kids that you might know, Alexis Casella, Kylie Sullivan, Allie Wanzer. They are just hard-headed kids that work hard and they never stop. So I wanted to be good. Sophomore year, I thought we should have had a lot of wins, and we did. We played very well, and then we ran into a very good Cherokee team. But I think the main goal sophomore year was to win A South because North was so good, and we haven't won A South since 2013. So that was my goal for the whole team. And for Bianca, I mean, same thing, just improvement, make her teammates better. Like I said, we had a lot of soccer kids, and we were so good sophomore year. Rachel Capua didn't even start, which is insane thinking about it now. But yeah, like I said, just more so improvement and making her teammates better.
Yeah, so sophomore year, my goal was to get Jackson Memorial girls basketball just back on the radar. I mean, it wasn't really hard because we had Christina coming in with all of her shooting and driving skills. We had Rachel Capua coming in as a freshman, and like Sarah said, she didn't even start, but she was still a huge help. And then Danny Evans having one of the best years of her life in high school. It was amazing. So it wasn't really that hard with the skill set that we had and the coaching staff. The coaching staff was absolutely tremendous. And to top it all off, we had just amazing chemistry that nobody could break.
Yeah, and I think junior year specifically for Bianca, obviously that's a big recruiting year. So I wanted her to get herself ready and prepared, and that's when she ended up leaving the soccer program, and she worked out with one of our other coaches, Coach Vega, and he got her right. She was slim and trim and tough. And it was good. It was fun to watch. She was so strong. And so that was pretty much our goal for her. And just like sophomore year, since her sophomore year, we knew we should be winning a lot of games. So for every season since then, our goal as a team was to win a lot of games, try and win A South, try to get to Cherokee, try to beat Cherokee. So that was pretty much the goal for junior year for me.
Yeah, my goals junior year were to continue my assist statistics from the previous year and try to have the best year with basketball and academics. And I actually ended up having one of the best years, in my opinion, with academics and basketball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it was a very challenging year with Cherokee again ending our season. We wanted to beat them so bad, but we knew that next year we would get another chance.
Yeah, and then this year, obviously, you saw us. You were very supportive of our team, and you saw us. We were grinding out there every game, and we got a little thin at the end, but which stunk because we had some good kids that we were really looking forward to seeing them in the postseason and stuff. But our goal was obviously to win a state title. We thought, Rachel and I have been talking about this forever, with B and Chris and Rachel and Maffey and our role guys, Vela and Mac. We thought this was our year. We played very fast pace, but it wasn't, and that's okay. We ran into a very good team, but that was pretty much the goal. And obviously we thought we had a pretty good chance of winning A South, and the goal of ours, and I know a lot of the girls on the team, we wanted to be undefeated in A South.
Yeah, my goals for senior year were to attain a title with one of the best teams that I've ever had in my high school career. Whether it was just like the A South or state tournament, it honestly didn't matter. I just wanted to leave something behind with one of my most cherished teams that I've played with. And I've been playing with the seniors that I graduated with since I started. But most importantly, I just wanted to have as much fun as I possibly could with my last year of my high school career.
Yeah, and like I said, we haven't won A South since 2013. So it was pretty big for us. And these girls, the seniors, have been playing together since they were 8 years old on travel basketball. So it was big for them to leave their names in the history of the school.
Yeah, the first time I saw you girls play was towards the end of junior season. You guys went to Mattawan. My niece wanted to go to a game. You're right around the corner from their house. So first time seeing it, I was impressed. Bianca, your passing obviously stands out. You remind me of Jason Williams with your passing. So fun to watch. Christina, could do it all, shoot from outside, bring it inside.
Mm-hmm.
And, Rachel, she's such a good scorer, but what I think she gets underrated is her defense. Her hands, she's always active on defense. I think she had 3 steals in the first half, and fast breaks. And my niece said to me, "Why am I not allowed to do that? Because they're not allowed to do fast breaks." And
they're not allowed to go past like the 3-point line. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what got her a little more excited about basketball. But Bianca, I want to talk about your relationship with Christina, because you two have such a chemistry on the court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Christina and I have been playing together for about 10 years. So whenever her and I play in a game or even a scrimmage during practice, it's like we have twin telepathy. Like we both know exactly what's going to happen. We both know what each of us are going to do. And it's insane. Like sometimes I get shocked about the things that we do during games. But being that we've been together with Travel High School and AAU, I felt like we just bonded immediately. With our skill set. Like our skill set went hand in hand with my passing and her shooting and her ability to score. But our relationship on and off the court is the exact same. Like we never just like ignore each other or anything. Like we always talk, and I'm glad to call her my friend. And as soon as she gets out of basic training and comes out as a sailor, I know I'm going to be just as proud as I was when she got the all-time leading scoring record for the high school.
Yeah, that was some accomplishment. Probably get into that a little bit towards the end. Bianca, how does it feel having your sister on the coaching staff?
Well, it's honestly amazing. Like she treated me like I wasn't even her sister during practices and games. Like I was just another player trying to get the work in, and I appreciated that. Like she told me first day, my freshman year, she's like, "You're not my sister when we get on the court. Like we don't want people thinking that I have an advantage or whatever. Like I have to work for everything that I earn." And I respected that. That's exactly what I wanted. But her being on the coaching staff, it was a huge help, not only for me, but for Goody, for all the other girls, because she knows the game. Like she's probably one of like the best coaches that I probably ever had. And she's been coaching me since I started.
How is it playing for Rachel?
Well, I've known Goody for about like 13 years maybe. So she's family. Like she's always family to me, and playing for her was even better. Like it was just a privilege to have her as a coach. Like she's one of the best coaches in the state of New Jersey. So yeah, playing with her, she's a little rough. Like she'll she'll yell, she'll scream, but it's just constructive criticism. And as long as you can take that and you're just mentally tough, you'll be fine. Like you'll be on her good side. You'll be good. And her trainings are like training for the Olympics sometimes with the running workouts.
Yeah, I mean, like, I played for Rachel as well, and she's a big proponent of hiring alumni. She loves when alumni come back and good. So from the jump, I told Bianca, she always was talking about, she loved playing basketball in middle school, but Bianca was like 8-9 years old and was like, oh, I can't wait to get to high school. I can't wait to get to high school. Because she used to sit on our bench and give all the girls water. And even like Danny Evans, her two sisters, Bianca has been around them forever. Tiff Montaigne, she had her sister Tia went to RBC. She's been around these girls her entire life. So she was so excited to play high school basketball. And I'm like, hey, listen, take it down a notch because it gets crazy in there. It's a different environment. But playing for her myself was such an honor. And I always say that I love playing for her. It was great. Got me ready for life, not just, playing basketball. And then she hired me as a coach. And coaching with her is amazing. We have a lot of the same philosophies. We're both very intense. But I kind of keep her level-headed a lot of the time if I'm not yelling at the refs. And she appreciates that. So we have a good time. Like Bianca said, she's family. She was actually just here earlier dropping off her the awards, the seniors awards and things like that, talking to us and stuff. So she's definitely family to us.
I want to comment on something that Bianca said. She's tough, but, as long as you take it as criticism, not a lot of players, but some players, they take it too personal, and all the coaches are trying to do, is teach and get a point across. So, that's a good mindset, especially, since you're going to be playing at the next level.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a few of your other teammates, Rachel, Lowe, Vela. Talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, Rachel, I swear, I probably have never seen that girl frown during basketball practice or a game. She's probably one of the happiest basketball players you will ever see. She is super coachable and always she'll just laugh at her mistakes. And sometimes it gets a little hectic. It's just she's just going around, smiling, making everybody feel better. And I'm honestly so proud of how far she came on with the basketball wise and honestly academic wise, because she talked to me sometimes about her academics and she's getting to it. I'm so proud of her that she got committed to NYIT. It's a great school for her.
How about Zoe being a freshman? She didn't play like a freshman. She played like she's been there before.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's going to be very special. By her senior year, she's going to have a lot of eyes on her. She's a big guard, but with skills, and that's probably one of the best assets that you could have. And the more she plays, the better she's definitely going to get. And I expect her to be dominant within the couple years. She's blocking shots as a freshman, and she's knocking down threes more consistently, and she's just getting more aggressive, and she's not scared anymore, which is probably one of the best things that happened to her this year.
Yeah, we've known Zoe since she was a little one. Bianca was her camp counselor at Goodies camp, and I was her camp counselor at summer camp, and she was a little guard when we met her, and all of a sudden she shot up. So She has these guard skills, and now we really just hone in on her post skills because she has the guard skills. She can handle the ball and pass the ball very well. So we're proud of her.
Yes, Sarah, I want to ask you this. You help coach with the Little Ballers camp. Seeing, being able to see these kids from Jackson from under, like you said, Zoe Little, and grow up. How's that? Being able to see their development and coaching them in the high school level.
It's amazing. I mean, Ray started Little Ballers not too long ago, but she's always had her own summer camp, and I worked that since I was in high school. So I was, even like I said, those soccer kids, Kylie and Allie and Alexis, I was their counselor at Goodies camp. And I've always, once you're a Jag, we kind of instill in you that once you're a Jag, you're always a Jag. So we have a lot of people come back, and I love seeing these kids grow up. Like Bianca said, she was playing with Christina, Vella, and Max since they were young, so I watched them grow up. And even Natalie Knopf used to play basketball. I know you know her from soccer. Watched her grow up, and it's great because we want in this time, keeping these kids in Jackson is a big deal, and that's kind of how you lay your roots when they're younger, and you watch them develop and you help them develop, and you even just get any type of resources out to them. Like I help out the travel girls team still to this day. And it's great to see. I love watching them grow up. I love watching them get more skilled. And obviously I love when they come play for us as well.
Yeah. Could you both comment a little bit about Vella? To me, she does all the dirty work underneath. A few games, just offensive rebounding machine and putting it right back up.
Yeah. Like you said, Vella is just an absolute rebounding machine and such an amazing teammate. Like, she would be the teammate that you would go to if you were upset in the middle of a game or a practice or you're just in a slump. She would always say the right thing, and then right after that, joke with you, push you around, smile, laugh, and you'd be right back on your feet, sprinting, dribbling, shooting, like 100%.
Yeah, Vella, I mean, that kid, watching her develop the last few years, I remember when she was a freshman, and Bianca was also a freshman, and Bianca played varsity, and Vella and Mac, they played JV and varsity. And it's hard when you see someone that is your same age only playing varsity and whatnot, but Vella and Mac never took it to heart. They always got better. They always wanted to do the little things. And Vella is a machine. When you said her name, Bianca whispered to me, Dennis Rodman, because that's what we call her. We're like, yeah, our Dennis Rodman, because that's what she is. I remember against Rancocas Valley, the kid was just picking boards off. I'd never seen her jump so high. She's so athletic and fast, and she had such a great game. She really pushed us over the edge that game because it was very close for the first half. And she, like you said, Nick, she does all the dirty work, and she never complains about it.
Yeah, I was sitting with. Well, we'll talk about the Valley game, and then I'll talk a little bit, what I thought, how Vella helped so much in the first half. First, I want to talk about the short conference tournament and that Marlboro game. Now, sitting in the stand as a neutral fan, the refs let that game get away.
Yeah.
And I spoke to somebody from Marlboro at the non-public finals, South finals. He was in the stands watching. And first thing we talked about that game, and first thing he said, I don't know why only 2 refs were at that game. We're both fast-paced teams. There was no way they were going to keep up.
Yeah.
That was the exact words. And even though they got the win, I told him what happened with Brooke.
Yeah.
And his team, he said he wanted to call coach and see if your team was as banged up as his team. Because they were hurting as well. So just talk a little bit about that game. And, I thought that was a bad matchup for Jackson. I thought that was the only bad matchup in the whole short conference tournament for you guys with that Marlboro team, with their style. So just talk a little bit about that game.
Yeah, I mean, as from a coaching perspective, we prepared. We had 2 practices to get ready for a team like that is tough. And we would throw 8 people to play against the girls at once, and we thought we prepared well, but it's hard coming in there and just not being that deep. They were deep, and they are, and when we say deep, I mean all of 1 through 10, 1 to 11, they could start on a lot of teams. It's not like they're just have the bodies. They're good.
Yep.
And we thought we prepared pretty well. Like you said, we never tell our kids that to let the refs, put the game away. You want them to play their hearts out and stuff. But it was rough. It was rough for us for sure. But that team is well coached. They are deep, like I said, and Jess is a superstar. That kid is so good. So, you kind of just have to walk off at the end of that and chalk it up. And that's what we did. We went back to the film room. We watched it. Very hard to watch, especially watching Brookie go down. She is the light of our team. So we're even thinner at that time. We didn't have Amber. She got hurt. So it was rough. But like I said, you just kind of got to say, good game, respect it. And Jess had a great game. And I think a lot of our team even talked about it afterwards. Like, oh, that girl Jess is good. Bianca and Chris know her. But she showed what she's made of. And you just got to chalk it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually. Hang on a second. Sorry, Bianca.
No,
I'm actually interviewing Jess at the end of the week.
Oh, perfect.
To me, she was one of the most consistent 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Just me going to the games I've seen. She was very consistent this year shooting the 3 ball. And you're right, she is such a good talent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bianca.
Yeah, no, you're good. But yeah, just like Sarah said, it was a challenging game just to walk into, and then as soon as Brooke got hurt, I feel like the team and some bit of the coaches, we kind of fell off mentally because she was very aggressive, and as soon as she went down, she's a goalie. Like, she goes down all the time. Yeah. So when she was hurt, like, we knew, like, it's not just like a little sprain, like she definitely did something. But it was definitely a learning experience with that game. And with Jess, she was shooting lights out from half court. So there was not much we could do about that. But it was definitely a learning curve. Went back, drew it up, watched film. Like Sarah said, it was rough, but we learned from it.
And there were positives out of that game. I mean, Chloe Messer, she showed us that she could play varsity basketball that game. So we, you got to take the positive out of it as well. Definitely learn from
it. And I think, Sarah, you hit it on the head. They're running 11, 12 deep, full court press the whole game, and you don't have that type of bench, and you just you got worn out towards the end.
Yeah.
But it was a fun game because you did keep it close until the couple minutes.
A couple minutes in the fourth started, but until then it was pretty close. 8, 6, 9. It was good. It's a good game.
Move on to states. How did it feel playing against Lexi and Ricardo's Fowley?
It was at first, like, we were joking around, like, in the beginning of the game, like before the game during warm-ups, but then we had to get like super serious. So they came in with Lexi, and she had multiple runs. Like, we could not stop her. She was not giving up, no matter how much she was down by, or even when she was up at one point. She kept getting her attempts, and she kept getting her drives right off of our made baskets. But I feel like she's underrated with some of the things that she can do. And especially, like, I know it's just Lexi, but like her teammate Adriana, she was running their floor. She was running their team, trying to get them to like get it together and like get baskets in, start playing like even harder defense than they already were. But yeah, it was a fun game overall.
Yeah, I mean,
first half was very fun to watch.
Yeah, Lexi's so athletic, and watching her. But I remember, she hit a big bucket, and then Bianca came down, hit a huge 3 from like half court, and tied it up again. And I looked at Coach Mason, one of our other assistants that also played for Goody, and I was like, we're good. And there's just certain times, and some of our kids do things, and we're like, hey, we're gonna get it right here. And we righted the ship a little bit, but they played us so hard. And I was watching Gary, and it's so hard for him not to cheer for our girls as well. Even when Lexi's making a bucket, I'm like, oh, that's a good move. Like, it's hard. It was hard, but they worked hard, and we were just happy we got the win.
Yeah, she was that first half. She was flying up that court, taking it to the hoop. And then the coach they changed their game plan. I don't know the coach, so I don't know why, but it seemed to have a negative effect because then, second half, you guys, Christina went off and you guys just blew it open. Now, I didn't get to go to the Shawnee game, and, I thought that was going to be a victory for you guys. And obviously I was wrong. Talk a little bit about that game since I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Shawnee came in. We were very excited that we were going to get another home game. South Jersey plays a little different than we do. Not so much Rancocas, but Shawnee and, Cherokee, they play a little different. They like to hold the ball a little bit, and we are fast paced, but they executed their game plan. We came out cold, very cold. Chris, it's very rare. I don't see Chris put the ball in the basket, but she came out cold. She finally got it going. But it was rough, and once they started pulling away, they were just holding the ball for, I think, one possession for 3 minutes. They passed the ball around, and it was something. We don't see that. We don't see that in A South. Everyone wants to run and gun, and
you don't see that at all in the short
I don't see that
conference.
at all in the short conference. And we're always playing and moving and everything. You want to score quick. So it was definitely a different style of play, and they played. I didn't think they should have been seated where they were. I thought they were much better than that seed. Obviously they were. And they played their hearts out, and I give credit to them because that was a great game for them. And you kind of saw our seniors, they were kind of getting a little beat up. They were very upset. There's like 5 minutes to go, kind of realizing what's sinking in. They're trying to play as hard as they can. We call timeout. They're, wiping tears from their eyes, and then they're going out and diving on the floor still and stuff. So we were proud of how they went out, but it was definitely a rough one.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Shawnee was not seeded correctly at all. Like, they had such talented players, and for that night, they were the better team. But the fourth quarter of that game was probably one of the hardest quarters that I've ever had to play, because I knew that it was my last game playing in Joe Perry Gymnasium and playing for Goody and Sarah. And it was the last game that I was playing with the girls that I've been playing with for 10 years. So I was trying to give it my all before I finally got subbed out, and I was just crying on the bench. But yeah, it was rough.
Now you talk about Shawnee not being seeded correctly. I mean, they beat the 3 seed before they played you girls. So, that's a big accomplishment in themselves. Where would they be? 14 then?
Yep.
Were they 14 seed? So they beat the 3 seed. They beat you guys, who, to me was seeded lower than you should have been. But I don't get the point system.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, what year did you win the state title?
2012.
How was it, playing in the TOC? I thought this team had a good chance of, winning Group 4.
I've said it, and I said it the other day on our virtual banquet, and Coach Mason played on our 2012 team as well. She was a junior when I was a senior, and I said I'd give my ring up so they could have it, because I've known these kids since they were 8, and Coach Mason's like, nah, I wouldn't. And I'm like, all right. Maybe I'm biased because, I'm watching my sister cry the whole ride home a couple days after, It was rough, but no, 2012 was special. We were super underrated. No one thought about us. There was actually an article that came out and said, don't worry about Jackson Memorial because Krista Evans is off to Rutgers. So that kind of lit us a fire under us. And then I won't say what school, but kind of a rival school coach saw us in the summer and was like, looked Goody right in her face and said, well, we got you this year. Krista's gone. So we were fueled in the summer. It was me, Erin Chino, Tiffany Montaigne, Hannah Mystery, Steph Mason, Shannon Evans. They all played college sports, and it was so special because you're one of 6 teams left. And we went to this whole lunch, and Carl Anthony Towns was there, and Coach Hurley was there, and I remember Coach Goodale went up to talk about our team, talk about how crazy of a run it was, and she couldn't even speak because she's looking at Coach Hurley. She's like, she didn't thank any of the coaching staff. No one. She started talking about Coach Hurley, but it was such a special moment. We actually played Rancocas Valley. They were seated much higher than us in the sectionals, and we were down 16 at halftime. And with no shot clock, a lot of people thought it was over. The Rancocas gym was packed. The floor was shaking. We had never been in an environment like that in our lives. And Bianca remembers it as well. It was insane. So every time we play Rancocas, it's a little special for us because that was, the coach always talks about it. That was special. So we won that, and then we played a couple more games. Then we beat North Hunterdon Central on a charge call. My teammate Erin Chino took a charge. They called it a charge. The referee that calls it still talks to us about it to this day every time she does one of our games. And she says it's the most controversial call she's ever made in her life. And I'm like, yeah, 2012, that's a long time. She's like, I know. And then we ended up losing in the first round in TOC, but it was such a fun run, and we really thought this team had a chance to at least get to the sectional final and give Cherokee a run for their money.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I saw Cherokee once, and let's just say I'm not a fan of that style, and it was a little hard for me to sit there and watch, especially since I was there for 8 hours already watching basketball.
Yeah, that's South Jersey
but
style.
They are well coached, and they stick to their game plan. They don't let the other team dictate.
Yeah,
their
coach is very distinguished. He's a good guy.
Yes, yeah. I actually, not realizing this, when he took Rancones Valley boys team to the TOC, I actually saw them play. It was my senior year, and he was the coach there, which I didn't realize to that season. I just want to comment on something about high school sports. You said Bianca was upset. Career's over in high school. That's something that makes high school sports so good. I was at soccer state finals, sectional finals, and the losing team, probably one of the best players in the state, visibly upset at the end of the game. She knows she's playing Division I, has a shot probably for a national team, and she's showing that emotion losing a high school game, and that, to me, that's what makes high school sports so much fun. The passion.
I agree.
So let's talk about your future, Bianca, and talk a little bit about how college was for you, Sarah. So, Sarah, where did you go to school?
I went to the West Virginia University. Go Mountaineers.
What did you study down there?
I have a degree in it's criminology over there, and a degree in psychology.
Oh, wow. Did you play basketball down there?
No, I didn't. It was so funny because Rachel Goodale, she always tried to get me to play Division II, and I'm a big sports, as you know, on Twitter. I'm always tweeting about sports. So I wanted to go to a big school with a big team, and I actually just ended up starting a club team at West Virginia. Yeah, okay. So I was like the player coach, and then we got someone else to coach it, and we organized travel. We went to Ohio University. We went to Penn State. We went all over the place, up and down the East Coast. So it was cool, and I still got to relive my glory days a little bit. But yeah.
Did you go to a lot of football games?
Everyone.
Who was the quarterback back when you were there?
Freshman year was the year of Geno Smith, Tavon Austin, and Stedman Bailey. So that was the first ever year they were in the Big 12. That was very, very, very fun to watch.
What about your future? You think coaching is the career path you want to follow?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick anything, I would love to coach. And Rachel and I always talk about coaching college, and I'm always like, yeah, I'll follow you, because I just think that would be awesome. She coaches our team like a college team, or it's insane. Yeah. So we always talk about it, but I definitely think that is the path I want to go towards, and it just makes me happy. So I think I tell Bianca all the time, do what makes you happy. So I really do enjoy it.
Now, Bianca, you're going to East Stroudsburg. Do you know what your major is going to be?
I'm majoring in physics, but I have an engineer transfer program to get a master's in civil engineering. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what do you want to do when you get older?
For the first 3 years after I get my master's, I'm probably just going to be a civil engineer, but I eventually want to, quote unquote, rank up, as they say, to either a constructional engineer or a structural engineer.
Oh, well, that's pretty impressive. About to wrap up, Bianca, I want to ask, I noticed the East Stroudsburg coach came to a couple of your games at Jackson. What to me, to me, that shows a good sign, a relationship that you already have with the coach. Talk about the East Stroudsburg coach a little bit, and your relationship with her.
Coach Dell has treated me like family since the first visit. She made me feel like I was already a part of the Warrior family. She'll call us from time to time, especially during this time with quarantine and everything, just to chat or check up on us, even if it's just little texts saying like, "Oh, how are you? Like, how's your dogs? How's everything?" And she reminds us to keep practicing and training, and she always is open for questions. But I'm so excited just to play for her. But it's not even only her that I have a great relationship with. Like the assistant coach, Coach Simmons, amazing. Like we always same thing. She'll call us out of the blue. We'll talk about the Marvel movies. Yeah, our dogs, how we have to go to ShopRite like every 2 weeks. But yeah.
That's good. Well, they definitely got a solid, you're a true point guard, which you don't really see too many of those anymore. So I wish you were
Thank you.
on the next level. Anything else? Are you guys ready to wrap this up?
No, we're good. That was great.
All right. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad this worked, having two people on. Now I can do more of these.
This was really fun. I hope you stay safe.
Yeah, you too, and keep working hard, Bianca. And if you guys play anywhere close, how far is East
from
Stroudsburg?
my house? It's probably about 2.5 hours.
I think the closest school in the PSAC is Westchester. It's about an hour or so. Yeah.
Well, that's not that bad. So maybe I'll be able to, it's going to get tougher. I've got a list of, seniors that I want to see play at the next level, and then going to all these high school games.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we appreciate all of the support you gave our team specifically, and I know everyone in the Shore appreciates the coverage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Your team was, 3 teams I enjoyed watching a lot this year. Your team, Manasquan, and St. John Vianney. Just because your team, because it was such fast pace, fun to watch, and the other two just, the way they played together, everyone touching the ball and stuff.
It's fun.
So I look forward to next season. I'm making a prediction. Rachel, top 5.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
That's my prediction. So.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining me, guys. You too. Bye.